game, we're preparing for the end result that's getting into the NCAA tournament and giving ourselves the best opportunity to win a national championship.
One thing Coach Barnes has stressed in practice this week, when you got a shot, shoot the ball, because TCU wants to slow it down. If you pass too much, you're playing into their hands. We'll see how it turns out. We'll be with you at the halftime, but right now, it's Paul Sutherland with the call.
All right, Joel, thank you very much. And as you were just talking about, only 2 games remaining in conference play, so certainly time to focus in as the stakes get much, much higher. Texas, who's been superb at home at 15-2, comes back to the Irwin Center to take on an injury-ravaged team from TCU. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us once again here on Longhorn Network with the one and only Bruce Bowen. The Texas Longhorns raised a lot of eyebrows on Paul Sunderland, by the way, when they won 7 in a row in what is the nation's most difficult conference. They got up to number 15 in the country. Now they've lost 3 out of 4 with only 2 remaining. Cause for concern, or is this just the Big 12?
Well, it is a good conference being the Big 12, but it is a cause for concern as far as taking care of the basketball. We understand they have a young team, but last game they had 16 turnovers. You cannot compete in this league when you have those types of games. And if you're preparing for what may happen in March Madness, it's time to take care of business right now.
All right, time indeed. Texas has had a marvelous season, surprised a lot, and we shall see how they close out the regular season as we take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Horned Frogs from TCU. Again, just injuries throughout the course of the season and last, quite frankly, but Kean Anderson really carried them throughout the month of February, averaged 21 points per game, and maybe the future is down on the end. We're in number 1, fine young center out of the Dallas area, Kavar Shepard, so we'll keep an eye on those two. And for the Texas Longhorns, again, 15-2 here at the Irwin Center, starting lineup, Taylor, Holland, Felix, Lammert, and Ridley. Now, where is Jonathan Holmes? In an abundance of caution, you remember that Jonathan Holmes injured his right knee at Kansas State back on February 8th. He's not 100%, so against a team that has really struggled, still looking for its first conference win, they're going to hold Holmes out. We'll have more on his condition. Certainly expect to see him at Texas Tech over the weekend. We will have more on his condition as this game unwinds. And Texas in their gray uniforms with burnt orange trim are underway. Lammert with it out on top. Texas won the first meeting, but it certainly took some work. 59-54. That off the side of the rim. Battle for the rebound comes out to Holland. Isaiah Taylor on the lob. What a nice find.
Great pass, you know, slash to the basket. Isaiah Taylor, those are some of the best opportunities to get those type of plays for your team off of second chance opportunities. Offensive rebounds will be huge for Texas Longhorns tonight.
The Texas Longhorns all season long have been among the best rebounding teams in the conference. This is Anderson on the season, averaging 17 points per game out of Fort Worth, Texas. 5 seconds to shoot. TCU will be patient, but they still got to take some good looks against the clock. And he was hot in February, and he's hot in March.
Yes, he was. And this is the person that you have to be aware of. Kean Anderson, he's one of those players that can truly put this team on his back. Talking with Coach Trent Johnson earlier today, he spoke about how this young man has really opened up a lot of eyes for TCU. But more importantly, he's a competitor. And right now, he doesn't have all his guys, but he's willing to do all the work he needs to.
Felix tries to answer at the other end. Battle for the rebound, deflected, and it will be another possession for Texas.
You know, we talk about slash to the basket. Manu Ginobili is one of the best at this alpha of offensive rebounds. You know, you don't have time to set up as a defense when you have someone, you know, trying to rebound and then he gets a slash and basket.
Isaiah Taylor has been, is he still a surprise, Bruce? I mean, he has played at a very high level since his very first game of his freshman year.
You know, he has, and he's not necessarily so much a surprise to the opponents because he's continued to improve, though. I think that's been the surprise. He came in, his first game, he used to attack the basket, go only one direction. But he's starting to put everything together, and that's what the coaches are really happy with his progress for.
You saw a little bit of the growth of his game, very comfortably knocking down a mid-range jump shot, give the assist to Felix.
You know, I think they need to pressure Anderson. You can't go under the screen with a guy that does get as many shots as he does. You get him comfortable going. Now you're at his mercy, whatever he wants to do going under a screen like that.
Yeah, that was way too easy. Texas is going to be exposed in the screen and roll if they continue to defend it that way. And Look at Rick Barnes to make an early adjustment. Ridley immediately double teamed. One dribble, pull-up jumper, and 2 for 2 from the floor.
Yeah, and it's important as a point guard to see certain spots in the zone to attack. He attacked a certain spot where there's no help there. Getting to that free throw line area, there's no help. The bigs are down low, so they can't contest the shot.
Isaiah Taylor with 4 quick points, both of them from the perimeter. And yeah, everybody's got so much tape. You know, there are no more secrets any longer. And if you're a one-dimensional player, you're going to be a no-dimensional player.
That's
because
right.
They're just going to take it away. Off the steal, here comes Holland quickly out of the backcourt, running 1-on-3, and that's going to be a blocking foul. TCU retreating defensively, and that foul is going to go against number 22, Jarvis Ray.
Number 22, Jarvis Ray. His first.
You know, Coach Johnson, he was saying earlier before this game, talking about, you know, this freshman, Kavar Shepard, you know, he doesn't have good hands just yet. He says he's only been playing for 6 years. He's raw right now, so, you know, it'll be important for Texas to dig on him, just as they did right there. Keep bothering him. If he's not strong with the ball, they may have more opportunities to get in transition.
1 of 2 free throws made and another offensive rebound. TCU has really got to limit second opportunities. Lemmert left wide open in the middle of that zone defense, and that off of Cameron Ridley and out of bounds. TCU will have it. You mentioned Kavar Shepard, 6'10", 225-pound freshman, had 15 rebounds against Iowa State. So he's developing, and although it's been, as we mentioned, an injury-ravaged season, boy, he's gotten a lot of touches and a lot of looks. So he's not a freshman anymore.
That's right. And this is one of those deals where it's such a good opportunity for guys when they have an opportunity to play because of injury. You never know what's going to happen, but you don't get this chance or this opportunity all the time.
Lambert again wide open, but getting a better touch is Cameron Ridley. 3 offensive rebounds. We haven't even played 4 minutes.
Early in the season, you didn't see Cameron Ridley establish himself down there, and that's a great bounce as far as him getting up and getting the putback. I just believe that with another, the season that he's had thus far, he's really coming to his own as far as being comfortable down low, being a go-to guy for the Texas Longhorns.
We talk about Isaiah Taylor. Coming in as a freshman, nobody knew what to expect. Highly regarded, of course. That's why he was brought to the University of Texas. Has played exceptionally well. But Cameron Ridley, quite frankly, his freshman season was a major disappointment. But he has completely turned that impression around in his second season.
And to his credit, or I should say to his defense, you know, a lot of these guys coming out of high school, they've been told how great they are. And it's just a different pace of game from high school to the college game. And now we're talking about this conference as a Big 12 conference. It's a great conference.
Danny Newsom on for the first time. Ball on the floor, as is Prince eBay, wearing number 44 in gray and burnt orange. He comes up with that. Nice job running the floor. Immediately a basket for Newsom. And Trent Johnson wants a timeout. You cannot give up any easy baskets, and Trent Johnson telling Kavar Shepard, his outstanding young freshman, exactly that. When you're an underdog, nothing easy.
Nothing is easy, and this is to help build his character right now. But you know, after a while, a coach will get discussing, and so when you have a player continue to turn the ball over, the coach is now like, hey kid, you need some stickum? I can go get Lester Hayes for you. I'm sure he still has plenty on his socks.
TCU 3 turnovers in their last 3 possessions.
Danny Newsom just coming into the game. It's important for bigs to run the lane, as we see there. He runs the lane, but what I love more than anything else, he did something that the old players used to do. Keep the ball high. When you keep the ball high, you don't allow the guards to come around and strip it away from you. And it's also another way to get your name in the paper.
Redshirt freshman, a walk-on, and getting some additional minutes tonight because, again, if you're just joining us, Jonathan Holmes, again, abundance of caution because of that right knee injury some time ago, back on February 8th at Kansas State, will be unavailable for tonight. Certainly, in speaking with the coaches and trainers at practice today, he will be available for Texas Tech over the weekend. That's going to be a very tough game. Texas Tech, Tubby Smith has done a fantastic job.
Very good job. He has those boys playing so hard, and that's what you want more than anything else is at the collegiate level, if you get guys to play hard every single day that they're out there, you can start the coaching process after that. But first and foremost, you got to have the passion and the love to want to get out there and compete.
Texas leading it 11-5. TCU's been in this zone throughout the course of the early going, and off the turnover immediately picked up Hudson Price. Gets the basketball for TCU, and the Horned Frogs will have it. When we come back to the Irvin Center, Texas leading it 11-5.
Texas men's basketball on Longhorn Network is powered by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
Yes.
I'm Scott Fisher from Box 7 Weather. Get the Box 7 Weather in.
Sure, if you want me to.
Enjoy the ball game. And
You got it.
It's time for StubHub's every match game. Ali has 30 seconds to flip over each of the cards and the matching pairs to win a $100 gift card from StubHub. All right, Ali, on your mark. Get set and go.
Is this down?
He's underway. Trying to remember
Thank
each
you.
card.
One more, please. Thank you.
He has his boots on. He's slightly over it, but he looks good.
Yeah.
15. You got this on 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
4 offensive rebounds.
2, and 1. Ali, congratulations. He won the $100 StubHub gift card. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace for the Longhorns in your place to score great seats all season long.
Back at the Irwin Center, where Texas's leading scorer Jonathan Holmes is on the bench wearing street clothes. As Jonathan told me, there's no one moment you can point to in the Oklahoma game in Norman on Saturday that re-aggravated his knee. It's simply the wear and tear of the season. But out of an abundance of caution, it was decided that he would sit out practice on Monday. As he went through light workouts on Tuesday, accompanied with treatment, he didn't respond the way trainers wanted him to. So if it was up to Jonathan Holmes tonight, he would be on the court with his team, but this training staff made the decision that he would rest for the time being. They do expect, very optimistically, that he will be back on Saturday against Texas Tech, but as the staff told me, it's day-to-day with Jonathan Holmes. Paul?
Kaylee, thank you very much. And as we mentioned, 2 more conference games to be played, including this evening's contest against TCU, and the stakes getting much, much higher.
Right.
So you got to be very careful. Jonathan Holmes, another player who's had a marvelous season so far for Texas. The Longhorns have been one of the biggest surprises in the country.
You know, again, talking with Coach Barnes, you know, we were sitting there having a chat with Jonathan, and he said something. He said, Bruce, how much do you think Jonathan weighs? And just looking out, I said 210, 215. He called him over there. Jonathan weighs 240 pounds.
Wow.
Now you put that type of weight on those knees, it's no good for you. You gotta shed some of that weight. And also, we're talking about wear and tear of a collegiate season. Come on now. College. I'm talking about 82-plus games.
Kendall Yancey on for the first time. Can Isaiah Taylor, boy, putting his newfound jump shot on display.
I love the
perfect
patience.
3 for 3.
I love the patience that he's showing there. He's getting to a spot where it's not about going too deep or trying to pull up for the three-point line, which is not his game right now. He's getting to where he's comfortable, and that's what you need from a point guard.
Well, and the scouting report on Taylor was play off him, play him for the drive, particularly going to his left hand. Can't do that right now. Prince eBay swatting that ball out as Hudson Price tried to attack the basket. Texas now leading at 13-5. Oh, Lambert's got to take that shot. Stepped into a 15-footer and had it bounce home.
You know, I got my arms up. I'm ready for him to let it fly because he is a player that can trail and knock down that shot, that three-point shot. And it is a big asset for them when he's able to get going like that. But I like his aggressiveness. You know, that's his second shot thus far.
Shepard squares up, that off the back of the iron, and the fine freshman Kavar Shepard off to a little bit of a slow start. Just underway. Taylor probing, looking inside the eBay. They're leaving Lammert all by himself. He misses off the side of the iron, and the rebound taken by Christian Gore down inside. Texas leading it already by 10. TCU on the season 9-19 and have yet to win a game in conference. Again, absolutely torn apart by injuries. Off the miss, the rebound taken by Lammert. Quick kick ahead. Outside to Felix, good pass off the baseline and give the assist to Prince Ebay.
That particular play, I thought they had Lammert shooting right down the gut, and just that little hesitation from Prince Ebay to kick it out to Javon, it allowed the defense to adjust. They had to make adjustments there.
Hudson Price, very famous sharpshooting father. Mark Price, 12 years in the NBA. Here's Anderson again up top. Hit his first couple of shots, and they really need some scoring out of their star right now. One-on-one, step back, boy. Where are you going to go when you need a basket if you're TCU? No doubt about it. Back to Anderson.
And you know what? And it's okay. That's a long two for him. As long as you can test that shot. You know, Taylor did the right thing. He gave him a little space. He didn't want to get a blow-by up there. And if he hits a tough shot, so be it.
Yancey probing, looking for somewhere to go. Got in the air with no place to go, and he picks up the offensive foul. Very good start for the Texas Longhorns. 15-2 here at the Irwin Center, and feeling right at home. Javon Felix, that's become a familiar sight all season long.
Contestants, are you ready? All right, let's start the music. They're all in their Texas gear. Looking good, looking good. The music's on. And Ben is moving out. Start the music and get the chair out, please. You gotta keep it. And our winner, Preston. Congratulations, you won a family 4-pack of tickets and a meet and greet to WWE Live Road to WrestleMania at the Irwin Center on March 15th. Tickets are on sale now at TexasBoxOffice.com. Fans, we would like to take a moment to honor longtime UT Athletics announcer Wally Pryor, who passed away last Saturday, known as the voice of the Longhorns. Wally was a part of the UT Athletics family for nearly 4 decades and was inducted into the Longhorn Men's Hall of Honor in 1970.
And here is tonight's fine new roads play, powered by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado.
You know, so many times we talk about ball movement, and as you see the ball swinging around in this zone, you get it down on the baseline, and right here, this spot here is key because he's now the quarterback. He sees what's going on. If Connor Lambert slashes to the basket and he sucks the defense in, then next thing you know, you have a wide open shooter in Javon Felix, and that's exactly what he gets just by that ball movement. This is the best I've seen in quite some time with Texas, and it's important that they continue on this way because now we're moving towards the end of the regular season. You always want to go into the postseason having a certain rhythm about you and playing at a higher level, especially with the way that they started out thus far.
Mentioned it was the last home game of the season for the Texas Longhorns. You saw the difference on the road and at home, wins and losses for Javon Felix. He's made as many as 7 3-pointers in a contest, shooting 35% so far on the season from outside the arc. And Cameron Ridley collapses the defense. Isaiah Taylor penetrates the defense. For Texas to be successful, Javon Felix has to be that wild card out on the perimeter, much like Bruce Bowen was in San Antonio.
You know what? I thank you for that. It's funny, though. People are going to talk about, well, Cameron doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. But they're developing a chemistry right now that they didn't have early in the season. And it usually takes a year, especially at the college game, for guys to really learn one another's style of play.
Newsom back on. Ridley down inside. He got hit on the arm. He wanted to get to the free throw line. Shepard takes the rebound. Texas out quickly, 10:40 remaining. And the Longhorns on top by 11. Anderson about the only answer right now. Isaiah Taylor with the rebound after some contact. The officials are going to confer, and it will be the Longhorns basketball.
Good hustle again. Guys just coming after the ball. You got to get after it. That's the biggest thing. I talked about it earlier. It's just having the energy to compete. That's what it's all about.
Martez Walker out of Detroit, freshman who's really had some good moments as this season has gone along. Rick Barnes, head coach for Texas, was telling me today that number 24 in gray, the best pure shooter on the team.
Really?
Really likes his stroke. Just hasn't had that many opportunities because he's just got to get better at all the really important parts of the game. That's moving the ball, running the offense, and guarding. Let's see if he made. Oh, he made a liar out of it. That always happens. But Walker, a very, very comfortable shooter, particularly from outside the arc.
And the fact that he doesn't go out of his realm of what he's able to do. I think that's one of the things that's definitely a positive for him. And it's hard in college. When you come from high school, you're usually the man. So there is no wrong that you can do when you're in the high school game. Then you move up to the next level, being college, and now you have to be more selective about your shots. Realize what the coach wants from the offensive standpoint, and it takes time to learn.
A little high screen and roll pass, a little bit too hot to handle, and through the hands of Cameron Ridley for the turnover. 9:47 remaining. Texas on top by 11. Neither team in any kind of foul trouble, just 2 team fouls apiece. Texas coming in at 21-8, 10-6 so far in the conference.
Paul, I apologize stepping on your toes there, partner.
That's quite all right. They get stepped on all the time.
I'm not a big fan of the pick and roll in college. Here it is. Javon runs a pick and roll with Ridley, and he gives him a hot pass that's kind of high. Even if he catches it right there, you don't want him dribbling at that distance from the basket. Get the ball in the hands of players where they can operate. And I think sometimes people are so anxious to try to show so many different things within the offense, and the pick and roll is something that should not be necessarily used in college.
DeMarcus Holland, defensive stopper for Texas all season long, and who was guarding Kean Anderson, just picked up his second personal foul. So Isaiah Taylor, who was going to get a break, Javon Felix came on, and now that's going to be a foul on Felix from behind as well. So just like that, first foul on Felix, that's the 4th team foul on Texas.
See, these are the teaching moments where Coach Barnes, they're in the zone. So if anything, they should get these rebounds. There's no excuse for you being out of position in a zone. It's all about communicating and making sure you box out once the ball goes up for a shot.
Shepard not hesitant at all along the sideline, and neither is Cameron Ridley, averaging almost 3 blocks per game. He came out to deflect that 17-foot jumper. Spin down the lane, handoff to Ridley for the slam dunk.
Oh, I like that probing style of Taylor. He gets inside, he spins from the left to the right, and then gets the defender in the air where he's able to give a drop off to Cameron Ridley, who's waiting for that pass.
Anderson has that ball deflected away. The ball's loose. Newsom comes up with it for Texas. For TCU, as short-handed as they are, so many empty possessions. And here's one for Texas. Anderson on the steal. Newsom trying to get back, lays it up and in. And Anderson leading the way with 9 points now for TCU, averaged 21 in the 8 games of the month of February. Oh, a real battle down inside. That one about a foot too high, and Texas turns it over again.
I love the fact that Taylor is probing. You see, he keeps his head up at all times. It's not just him barreling down trying to score for himself. The spin move, it's all to set up to draw the defense in. And as he gets into the paint, get the big up. Hey, here you go, Cameron. Here's another 2 points for you, young fella.
4th turnover for Texas, same number for TCU. Still going under that screen. Anderson got hit, and he'll get a couple of free throws out of it. I want to get back to the screen and roll. Does a lot of it in the NBA versus college basketball have to do with where the three-point line is, and
Absolutely.
the spacing is entirely different?
You know, you have a wider variety of space. You know, the NBA three-point line is much further than the collegiate three-point line. So
The lane is wider.
there you go. The lane is wider. So now it's spread out. You try to do those things on this floor, it's just kind of crowded. It's congested. So you get a guy running a pick and roll from the top of the key when there's congestion there. Even with Cameron really rolling to the basket, he's still at the free throw line. You don't want him getting the ball at the free throw line. It's no disrespect to his game, but I want Cameron on the block.
Right. Coach Barnes from Texas was telling us earlier today, he said if you put Cameron Ridley off the block by a couple of feet, we don't want to throw him the ball. We want to get him the basketball when he's down in an attacking zone, which means down in the key. It's too easy to double off the wing when he's pushed off the block because some of the distances, as you just talked about, tip back up and in by Lambert. The spacing just isn't right.
Yeah, and Lambert, that's pretty good with the right hand, being he's a left-handed guy. I guess he's ambidextrous.
DeMarcus Croker on for the first time again, going under the screen, and Anderson now with 12 points for TCU, and Texas leading it 22-12. He's got them all. Down inside, another offensive rebound. Ridley puts that back up and in. Anderson at the other end, he's going to shoot a couple of free throws.
You know, in this, we got these situations. You got two teams competing here in the heart of Texas, the capital of Texas. UT doing it, 12-24 against TCU.
Well, we're not there yet. A couple of games to play around the conference for just about all of the teams. But if it ended today, look up top. Oklahoma State and Texas Tech, play-in game, if you will. Kansas gets the winner of that. Texas, currently the number 3 seed, would get West Virginia. Played them twice, beat them twice. Going to be a very, very interesting tournament indeed. Oklahoma, currently the number 2 seed, they would get most likely Baylor. Boy, they're going to be some very, very interesting quarterfinal games. And that's exactly the way it should be in any conference tournament. The Big 12 currently, in terms of RPI, the best in the country. Anderson back to the free throw line. Okay, nobody else for TCU has scored except Ian Anderson. What should Texas be doing to get the ball out of his hands?
First and foremost is that you don't want to go under the pick and roll with him. Go over the top of the pick and roll, but you got a big hedging. If you trapped, as we were talking during the break, if you trap, who else is he going to give it to? You get big, but just don't reach in. And right now, Texas is committing a lot of silly fouls right now. They have 6 fouls, and none of them have been fouls where you say, oh, he's going to the basket, we had to foul him.
Walker looking inside to Lammert. Shot clock is not moving, and I don't think, yeah, finally. Thank you very much. I looked up at the shot clock, wondering as this possession was going on, and it still said 35, so the officials are going to have to make an adjustment there. Joe DeRosa, somebody that you know very, very well, spent a long time officiating in the NBA. Terry Oglesby, along with Keith Kimball, are working this game for the Big 12 Conference.
Joe's always been a good guy, in my opinion. There are certain officials that I saw, you know, on a game, and I didn't feel any qualms with them as far as what they were going to do as far as officiating the game. It wasn't about him. He made sure he kept the lines of the game intact, and I think that's the ultimate job of an official.
Well, still looking to reset the shot clock. Want to be accurate here. Trent Johnson, his second season at TCU, and both of them have been very, very challenging. Last year, 11-21, 2-16 in the conference. Also injuries there. 15th season overall. Very successful at Nevada. Took the Wolfpack to the Sweet 16. Then he went on to Stanford. Also a Sweet 16 trip. 5 NCAA appearances in all for Trent Johnson coach teams, and just finished up 4 years at LSU. Now they're going back and looking at the videotape to try to determine how much time should be left on the shot clock. Never moved.
None of the clocks were working.
No, indeed, indeed.
Wow.
So there might be a malfunction at the table, and usually they'll just put a stopwatch on it and try to wind the clock down. Obviously the game clock with the shot clock to make sure that everything is in sync. I think it should be down around 17 or 18 would be my guess.
So you're saying it only took 3 seconds to get from that point? There, let's count.
No, no, not off the, no, I'm talking about.
I'm gonna go with 8 to 10 seconds on it.
Okay, well, this is a pretty long possession.
Okay, I want to add more time to my 8 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think my 17 or 18 might be a little bit heavy as well.
We've got a spirited bunch here at Texas.
You know, I like what the NCAA Basketball Rules Committee has done with the use of replay. It's just, the process just needs to be sped up a little bit. I mean, it just is taking, I mean, I've seen some things. I know when the ball goes out of, I mean, you got to make sure you're right, but boy, sometimes taking a long time. So 14, we were both off by quite a bit. Isaiah Taylor with a floater down the lane, not there. Offensive rebound, Lammert battling for it, and it is going to be Longhorns basketball. 6:52 remaining and a fresh shot clock. Texas leading. They have led throughout, got out to an 18-7 lead, and currently are on top 24-14. Ridley right off the inbounds pass, shot that ball over the top of Hudson Price, got a huge size advantage and didn't make much of the opportunity.
Take your time, gather yourself, jump hook. It's as easy as that. Don't rush the process. You know, it's just like in golf. When you try to rush that downswing, sometimes that ball just goes straight right.
Not my only problem.
Do we see a box and one?
Yeah, look at Kendall Yancey playing some box and one on the outside and trying to take Anderson out of the game. So there's the adjustment for Texas. Isaiah Taylor looking for the trailer up underneath. Should have been a goaltend. Boy, that was a nice assist once again, Isaiah Taylor. Martez Walker with his first basket.
It's a very nice move by Walker to fill the lane. I mean, I thought for a second that Taylor got in the air without anyone to give it to.
Well, we saw the pass earlier that he threw to Cameron Ridley. Isaiah Taylor at the point guard, averaging about 5 assists per game, has really shown some wonderful vision and very unselfish. Another turnover for TCU. That is their 5th.
You know, see the frustration we talked earlier about Shepard not having the best of hands down low, and now you have, you know, the leading scorer for TCU and Anderson giving him a pass, and he kind of, you know, loses it it doesn't make it encouraging for you to make that next pass to him.
Very nice sharing of the basketball. Kendall Yancey could have shot that ball, handed it off to Lammert from a slam dunk, and now it is a 28-14 advantage. Yeah, just because someone's open, if it's in traffic, doesn't mean you can throw them the ball if they can't catch it.
Especially if they don't have hands like Tim Duncan. You know, I gave him a lot of bad passes in my time there in San Antonio.
He bailed you out?
He bailed me out big time.
Well, we were talking about it earlier. Nice attack of the basket that time by TCU. Jarvis Ray getting into the paint, and he'll get to the free throw line.
You know, look at Yancey here. You know, he's going to the basket, and that's the thing. As long as you attack the basket, you got to be willing to drop it off to the bigs down low. You know, Lammert is in a position we call the dunker spot right there. A lot of times guys hang out there because you have those types of moments where you have attacking movements to the basket, and if you get up in the air and need to bail out, you have a big man there to do something.
Texas baseball continues this weekend with a 4-game series against Hawaii. Friday at 6, Saturday a doubleheader starting at 1, and Sunday also at 1. Kevin Dunn, Greg Swindell will have the call right here on the Longhorn Network. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors taking the long trip from Honolulu. About a 5-hour time change, 8 hours worth of travel, but they're going to play 4. Why not?
Why not? It's just, I've been to Hawaii and I still don't understand their time zone.
It changes. It changes.
Oh my goodness.
Dangerous pass inside to eBay in traffic and give that turnover to Kendall Yancey. An ill-advised pass into the post. And another turnover. Boy, this must be really frustrating for Trent Johnson. Trying to make something happen, but nothing but bad things are going to happen when you lose possession of the ball. He's encouraging his team. Again, 4 players unavailable. They're all sitting at the end of the bench. And he's got a couple of players sitting out because of transfer. They're going to be good next year. And he's trying to rebuild this program. School has raised $60 million to refurbish their basketball arena. It'll be open again in the fall of 2015. So a real commitment to TCU Horned Frog basketball.
You know, it's important right now for Texas to really take advantage of this opportunity right now as far as continue to establish a defensive pressure and the mindset where they're able to score.
Into the mid-post. Connor Lammert having a pretty good first half. We'll get you his totals in just a minute.
See, now it's important, you know, don't allow Anderson to even get the ball. You know, deny him the ball. You're running a box and 1 against him anyway. So when they take the ball out, get in front. I mean, Anderson, he's doing it all for TCU. I mean, he has the creativity with a pull-up from 3 and then attacking the basket, getting inside. You know, when you have one player like this, it's so important, as Greg Popovich used to say, cut the snake's head off and see what happens with the others out there. Not the other snakes, but, you know, it's hard. It
one
really
head per
is.
snake. Well, Texas went to the box and won. This is the 2nd year for TCU after having moved over from the Mountain West Conference, and Kean Anderson was formerly the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year. 4:25 remaining. It has been all Texas so far in this opening half. Texas coming in at 21-8, 10-6 in conference. Looking forward to the start of the Big 12 tournament, but they will have a very tough contest over the weekend, as mentioned, at Texas Tech. They got work to do before this regular season is over.
And it's a constant process, too. We still talk about the youth. I mean, we've seen leaps and bounds from Isaiah Taylor as a young player as far as a freshman. But you also have sophomores as well that are getting opportunity. But it doesn't happen overnight, Paul. You understand that. And it's really on the defensive end right now. Just a silly foul right there. That little reach in, those are the fouls that drive coaches crazy because it's not necessary. He's going to take a contested shot. Right. Why do you need to reach in?
Bail him out, get him to the free throw line, and that's one way this game is really bogged down.
There you go. And
really frustrated the Texas coaching staff and given TCU an opportunity at least to try to creep back into this game. Texas now 10 team fouls, and just like Dad, Hudson Price, nice stroke at the free throw line. Hudson Price's father, Mark, played 12 years in the NBA, 4-time All-Star with the Cleveland Cavaliers, still owns the league's all-time career record for free throw efficiency, 90.4%, one of the sweetest strokes you're ever going to see, in the Cavs' all-time leader in assists.
The only bad thing for him is he was playing in Cleveland. But they were relative.
Yeah,
with
Larry
Brad
Nance
Daugherty.
was on that team. Brad Daugherty, they were pretty good.
See, now he could run a pick and roll. And he taught a lot of guys that pick and roll. And oh my goodness, when you have shooters like it, what do you think his son thinks when they're at the table talking about shooting?
Think they ever played horse?
Ooh. There's some pretty good father-son tandems out there. You talk about the Currys.
More and more offensive rebounding. TCU cannot do much to stop it. That is 10 points now for Cameron Ridley. 3:20 remaining in the opening half. Rebound numbers, Texas 22 rebounds to only 7 for TCU. And finally, somebody else gets in the book from the floor, Hudson Price, with his first basket after making a couple of free throws. The lead is 11. Nancy going baseline, ran out of room, found somewhere to go. A little skip bounce pass out to Croker. But that is only the third team foul against TCU. So they've been turning it over. They may be shorthanded, but they are not putting Texas on the line.
Texas men's basketball on Longhorn Network, powered by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado, is brought to you by the Callaway House Austin, the premier off-campus freshman residence, now leasing for fall 2014.
Texas Athletics is proud to reward our winning driver $50 worth of unsurpassed Chevron with Chevron gasoline. Stop by your local participating Chevron station to purchase your very own Chevron toy car. Chevron, proud sponsor of Texas Athletics. All right, it's everyone's favorite time. Pizza Hut is making some special deliveries throughout the arena. It's the delivery of the game. Lucky fans receive hot pizza or coupons for free pizza from Pizza Hut. Make some noise for your favorite pizza. Pizza Hut, the favorite pizza of the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah. .247 remaining. Texas on top 32-21 coming out of that timeout. Kaylee Hartung, what do the Longhorn coaching staff have to say?
Paul, I will give you and Bruce one guess as to what Rick Barnes' instruction was to his team. Any guesses? Anybody? Don't foul. You've got to stop it. They've only got 3. That is the message, as you can imagine, heading into these final minutes of the first half.
Thank you, Kaylee. And, you know, you pointed it out, Bruce. You've played solid defense. Don't bail the offense out by committing a foul. Texas has been over the limit, and TCU in the double bonus for quite some time. Ball deflected out of bounds. Texas will have it once again with a fresh shot clock.
And again, it's all about the maturation process. You know, as you continue to go as a team, you start to realize there's certain things you just can't do. It's just trying to build towards the NCAA playoff, or I should say March Madness, and all the brackets has taken place.
Right around Ridley into the lane. Another foul is called. Varus Ray found himself isolated against the big center. for Texas and took advantage.
The sad part is that they're shooting 31%, and you continue to allow these driving opportunities to the back. You gotta hone in and play some defense.
Zibe just picked up his second personal foul, and the bracketologist Joe Lenardi taking a look at the seeds. He says Kansas is going to have a #1 seed, Iowa State, Oklahoma, Texas currently at a 6. He's got 7 Big 12 teams into the tournament. Oklahoma State at one point lost 7 games in a row.
Wow.
They have gotten on a roll. They beat Kansas. They have certainly found themselves towards the end of the season, as has Baylor. Got off to a terrible start. They started the Big 12 season 1-8. They just beat Iowa State. They've won 4 in a row. So as of now, 7 Big 12 teams into the tournament. Texas, several of the teams, Iowa State, pretty highly seeded right now, but Texas probably with the opportunity to really improve their seeding. That ball off the back of the iron. Croker knocked to the floor trying to draw the foul. And it'll be TCU's basketball. This game, because of all the fouls by Texas, has really bogged down after it had a nice flow to it. And Texas wanted it that way. That really played to the advantage of Rick Barnes' Longhorns. They went out 18-7. And looked like they were going to put this game away early until they started putting the Horned Frogs on the line, possession after possession. Clear out once again, Ray, right to the basket around Lammers. We got ourselves a basketball game, 32-25.
This is what happens when you don't take care of the defensive side of the ball. You know, there is a moment where, you know, everybody's worried about Anderson. Now others get involved. You put other guys on the line where they start to get a rhythm. TCU has slowed the game down, which is what they want to do.
A dangerous pass. Taylor finishes very well with his left hand. Bump there, and he'll get a couple of free throws. But back to the other end. Very good offensive design right here.
Yeah, it was the pulled through dribble, and the fact that once he received it, there was no wasted motion. It was a move all in one motion to the basket. A low, we call that a pull dribble. And so you pull it down low and you get to the basket, and there's no way to really help in that situation because everyone is occupied with others on the other side of the basket.
Taylor now with 7, and also mentioned good play design by Trent Johnson. Jarvis Ray working against Lambert, but where was Cameron Ridley? He'd been dragged up by the free throw line by Kavar Shepard. 1:20 remaining, Texas leading at 34-25. Shepard facing up, little jab step off the back of the iron. Nice looking shot, just came up dry. Marquez Walker pulling the trigger very quickly. Anderson stepping through, beautiful reverse layup. He and Anderson now with 18. At the other end, that ball deflected out of bounds.
You know, look at what Anderson does as far as using the rim as a defense mechanism as well. He knows that the guys are behind him coming, and he just goes up and under to utilize the rim as a shield as well. But right now, Texas Longhorns, they're out of character, they're discombobulated, and when you have these types of moments, it leads to where you should be up, but now it's really close.
TCU still looking for their first conference win. If you're just joining us, 4 players out for the season because of injury. And Emmerich Fields is out just because he's just beat up, and he's averaging 13.6 rebounds, unavailable for tonight's game. Texas got out to a very quick start, but then started fouling, not playing good defense, and TCU has crept right back into this game now, only trailing by 7. With Bruce Bowen on Paul Sunderland, Isaiah Taylor probing outside the Lammert, looking at a 3. Boy, that off the back of the iron. Offensive rebound again And Texas should work for the final shot. Anderson really working on Isaiah Taylor, trying to keep the ball out of his hands. But that's only the 15th foul.
Yeah. That's one thing. They are very disciplined as far as not fouling a lot. That's the tell of these both teams. You know, you have a team that's more talented than Texas Longhorns. Then you have TCU, who is not as talented, but they're more disciplined. Because of their discipline, they're able to stay in this game, whereas Texas has been up and it looks like a blowout, but it's a game.
TCU still has a foul to give. They don't take it there. They should have corralled Isaiah Taylor before he was turning into the lane. We don't see college teams take the foul when you have one to give as much as you do in the NBA, but Taylor able to use that length and dribbling and spinning ability, get into the lane, and will shoot a couple of free throws.
Yeah, I think it's more of the thinking process from the NBA standpoint. You have more, the basketball IQ is higher. Not that, you know, it's not high here, but at their collegiates, you know, so it's going to take them time before they can look at the clock situation and say, you know what, we got a foul to give. Let's utilize that.
Free throw good, 5.1 seconds remaining. Anderson looking for some space, a couple of dribbles for rhythm. Boy, that looked pretty good when it left his hand. Kean Anderson leading the way and trying to carry TCU to their first conference victory. Texas got out quickly. 18-7 had the game completely under control. Then they got into foul trouble. TCU took advantage, and now let's send it back over to the sideline with Rick Barnes as our Kaylee Hartung.
Thanks, Paul. Coach Barnes, when you see those 10 Texas team fouls, what's your reaction?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
The 10 Texas team fouls, what's your reaction?
Well, that's what we went zone to stop from fouling because we felt like they were having a hard time scoring, but it's a hand fouls, a hand checks, and that's what bothered me most of all because, you know, there was no reason to give some of those fouls that we had.
Kean Anderson has been able to score every which way. How do you stop him?
Well, one, we would get up on the ball screen and do what we're supposed to do, but it takes all 5 guys, and then one fouls. We got to keep them off the foul line. But more importantly, again, when we went to the zone, really did some really matching up out of it, fouled. We bailed them out, which we didn't have to do.
What does this mean for the second half? How do you adjust?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we got to get Javon Felix and DeMarcus Holland. I mean, we had those guys picked up 2 easy fouls. Javon gave up a foul on the backside where he just simply didn't compete. The guy took the ball from him. We just have some silly fouls that we've got to clean up.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, and obviously frustrated Rick Barnes. Texas leading it 36-27. Coming up next, Texas Game Day. All the halftime stories with Lowell and the guys.
For the past decade, this program has had a powerful impact on at-risk youth, first families, and community at large. UT Athletics salutes the community and regional planning program and the School of Architecture. A graduate program, UT's program has a strong focus on sustainable development, seeking paths that balance growth with within, while expanding the opportunities of all the segments of the community. Here tonight are Dean Frederick Steiner and Professor Terry Kahn, who have taught at the School of Architecture for 43 years. The College of Liberal Arts would like to recognize liberal arts honors with small classes, top professors, individualized coursework, and active learning community. Liberal arts honors broaden students' worldviews and prepares them to lead. Almost 500 students participate in this program each year. The LBJ School of Public Affairs at UT Austin supports cutting-edge research on the most important public policies challenges of our time. The LBJ School would like to recognize Dr. Cynthia Osborne, Associate Professor and Director of the Child and Family Research Partnership, and her excellent scholarship and impacts in the state of Texas. Dr. Osborne and the research team aims to bridge rigorous research and public policy to strengthen families. Let's have a round of applause and appreciation for the significant accomplishments of all the schools in attendance. tonight. We all know Austin is the live music capital of the world. So tonight we bring you the Austin Red Band, Moonlight Social. Please welcome former Longhorn Band members, Cherokee, Rashad, and Jenica Scott, as they perform the title track of their new album, Heading South with the Longhorn Band. It's close. Great try, Krista. Longhorn fans, remember to visit Louis St. Furniture in Austin on Anderson Lane, offering the finest in home furnishings since 1945. The University of Texas Official Educational Outreach Program is neighborhood Longhorns. The program serves elementary and middle school students, inspiring them to pursue higher learning through the exposure to college experience. Over the last 7 years, Whataburger has made a donation to the Neighborhood Longhorn Scholarship Program with each Texas football win and Texas basketball win. On the court today is Patrick Patterson with the Neighborhood Longhorns and Aubrey Imagine and Jonathan and Denise. Outstanding Neighborhood Longhorn students from Rodriguez Elementary. They're accepting a $5,000 donation from the Whataburger's Corporate Director of Operations, Ken McKissick. This year's contribution brings Whataburger's lifetime donation to the Neighborhood Longhorns program to $35,000. Let's cheer Whataburger's commitment to the Neighborhood Longhorns Scholarship Program. Hook 'em Horns and hook 'em on education. Let's bring home another W tonight against the TCU Horned Frogs. Pizza Hut, the favorite pizza of UT Athletics and home of the $10 deal. Order online at pizzahut.com. Texas fans, it's now time to play Headline of the Game, brought to you by the All American Statesman. Let's test your knowledge of current events and see if you can pick which one of the 3 following news headlines did not appear in the Statesman this week. Headline A, Matthew McConaughey, lifetime Longhorn, won the Oscar for Best Actor. Headline B, Ellen, the host of the Oscars, bought burgers for select members of the crowd. Headline C, Kate Blanchett won the Oscar for Best Actress. Which one did not appear? It is headline B. It did not appear in this week's Statesman. And Ellen actually bought pizza, not burgers for the crowd. Keep up with the daily news headlines for only 99 cents with a Statesman 24-hour digital mask. Get started at statesman.com/UT Take Pass.
Hey Longhorns, how do we change the world? We make new medicines better so you can be healthier. Dr. Janet Walco says she's in the business of doing drugs. She and her team develop innovative medicines and create ways for you to better understand the drugs you take. Her online course, Take Your Medicine, helps you get the best results for a healthier you. Now that's how we change the world.
Here they are, your Texas
That's a rule? Yeah. That was fun.
Sure. I'm working hard. I'm bragging about you out there. I'm bragging. What happened?
Halftime here at the Irwin Center, and after Texas got out to a 15-point lead with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, a parade to the free throw line helped to get TCU back into this one. With Bruce Bowen, I'm Paul Sunderland. How does Texas get back into a good rhythm? It's okay, don't foul. We all know that, but beyond the obvious.
Well, it's taking care of the basketball as well. You know, the turnovers right now. We talked about earlier in the segment about how they had 16 their last game.
Right.
Now, I believe they have well over 7 right now. I mean, you're on pace to keeping that going, and you can't do that right now. This is a game that you build on. You want to build on it so you can move further ahead and prepare for the bracket.
And as we talked about, Texas comes in having lost 3 out of their last 4, albeit obviously against really good opponents and all out on the road. But now is the time to fine-tune as we send it over to Kaylee Hartung once again. What's up with TCU?
Well, Trent Johnson knows his team is physically overmatched, but he says that's no excuse for them not to fight for every board they can get. Texas currently out rebounding TCU 25-10. The other thing that Trent Johnson knows, given these circumstances, is that when his team has lost as many games as they have, it's human nature to get down on themselves. He says the fight now is to keep them from not playing frustrated. He said they fought back at the end of that first half, and he wants to see more of that in the second.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. You know, you haven't won a game in conference, and unless you play every possession to its fullest capacity, you won't give yourself a chance, and that's the biggest challenge, obviously, for TCU. Jarvis Ray with the opening rebound off the Isaiah Taylor miss.
And we were talking early on about Texas is more talented than TCU is right now, but TCU is playing smarter basketball. Not putting Texas on the line. Like Texas had, at the 10-minute mark, they had 10 fouls, and TCU only had 3. So, you know, it's about taking care of the ball, but also thinking the game as well.
And to Kaylee's point, when she spoke with Coach Johnson of TCU, Texas out-rebounds the Horned Frogs 25-5. I mean, Texas Christian is playing in this zone, and they're just not blocking out.
No. They're a small club, and Texas can utilize their length more than anything else with Cameron Ridley and Lambert down low.
Look at this. This is going to drive Rick Barnes crazy. Exactly the point you made.
Yep.
Texas just played superb defense for 33 seconds and then fouled right at the end.
See, this is the thing. I don't like this call because that's an NBA call where Bruce is guarding Kobe. Just foul.
And look at that. That turns into a second possession, and Kian Anderson now with 21 points. And I was handed a note at halftime, and for Kian Anderson to go off in the first 20 minutes is nothing new. Last month, 18 at Baylor, 21 against Kansas, 17 against Kansas State, and 18 so far this evening in the first half against Texas before he just hit that other bucket.
You know, Texas is playing so timid right now. You have guys passing up open shots, and then they finally take a shot and they miss it badly. But, you know, Texas got to get back in. They have to dig themselves out of this, and you do that by getting after it. You know, pick up the intensity, push the ball up, do all those things that you do when you're at practice when coaches are getting on you. Great entry pass.
Good look down inside. Cameron Ridley screening off and finding some very, very good pace. Kian Anderson again. Look at the numbers. I mean, Baylor at this time maybe down a little bit, but Kansas, Joe Lenardi says a #1 seed. Kansas State has been a tough out all season long. Bruce Weber has done a fantastic job over in Manhattan. And that's going to be a traveling violation.
And that happens because he doesn't want to shoot the ball. You still have to shoot the ball. You know, these kids work on this shot every day at practice, and it does you no good if you're not able to transfer all the things that you're doing at practice into the game. And a lot of times that happens because so many of these kids are not practicing at game pace. The game is fast when it gets to the game time as compared to practice. So you got to really practice in a focused manner.
One of the old sayings that I really liked is practice like it's competition and compete like it's practice. Holland knocked to the floor, a layup missed down inside by Jarvis Ray. Boy, that would have really put some pressure on Texas. Here comes Taylor, driving into contact, and off the block. No foul is called. The Longhorns fans wanted a free throw there, and throwing that up wildly. A little bit of a ragged fray back and forth between Texas and TCU. Texas coming in 21-8, 10-6 in conference. TCU 9-19 so far overall. Texas currently in third spot, third seed. They would, if the season ended today, they would play West Virginia in the first round of the Big 12 tournament coming up in Kansas City. Quick inbounds play caught TCU a little bit unawares, and that's going to be a couple of free throws coming to DeMarcus Holland. Holland picked up 2 quick personal fouls. His time was limited in the first 20 minutes. Holland just a 55% free throw shooter so far on the year. On the floor mostly for his defense. Sounds a lot like Bruce Bowen, but to your point, you became a complete player when you became a knockdown jump shooter.
But in college, this is the thing. You can't want to be Bruce Bowen in college. You get to the next level and let them tell you that you're going to be whatever you're going to be.
Right.
You know, at this level, it's about expanding all the talents that you have within the game of basketball. And that's working on everything. You know, pull-up jump shots, spot-up shooting, defense. So, you know, when you have that, then you're able to necessarily make the necessary adjustments.
Nice jump hook by Shepard. Nothing will fall so far for the talented freshman out of Dallas. Yeah, you can run your offense and get DeMarcus Holland, and that's going to be a foul away from the play called on Cameron Ridley. You run your offense to get an open 17-footer. If you pass up that shot, you've broken the play.
That's right, and you may not get it back again. That's the crazy part. A lot of times, coaches always stress it. When you don't take that first open shot that you have, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get one as good as that one.
Second personal foul on Ridley. Texas again led by as many as 15 with 4.5 minutes to go. Little bump foul on the perimeter, and that ball lost out of bounds. LeVar Shepard is a talented young player. They expect a lot from him at TCU, but he's going to have to get much better with the basketball.
Yeah, and right now he's throwing his hands up like, come on, ref. Well, you know, you got to get yourself out of that rut. You're 0 for right now.
Has missed all 8 of his field goal attempts. Felix looking at a deep three-pointer, not close. Little missed time on the jump. Price with it, kicking ahead to Anderson. Anderson crossover dribble, gets in the lane, missed that. Jarvis Ray under the backboard, smartly kicked it back out. Price looking for some space. Out to Ray, straightaway 16-footer, rims in and out. So back-to-back possessions, TCU. A little bit of heartbreak. Holland attacking that shot, swiped away by Jarvis Ray, but down inside to Shepard, rims in and out to Jarvis Ray, rims in and out. But TCU hanging around, only trailing by 8.
In men's baseball, Texas 7.
I know the rule is you cannot bump right?
It's time to play Jack Black's Find Your Stash. Tonight, our 2 contestants are Zane and Matt. Will compete to find 5 costume mustaches hidden inside each of these barrels. The contestants must dig through as fast as they can, and the first to find all 5 will win the Jack Black Grooming Products Travel Pack. All right, let's get ready. On your mark, get set, and go. Ready they have their stashes on and they're looking, trying to find their prize bag. We got 4 over here on the right side. We got it. Matt, congratulations, you are the winner of the Jack Black Grooming Products Travel Pack. Visit GetJackBlack.com and check out our advanced skin care products to help you look and feel your best.
A beautiful look at the outside of the Irwin Center, home of Texas Longhorns basketball. Just underway here in the second half. The Longhorns leading it by 8. It is senior night, the final home game of the season. Kaylee Hartung with a special guest who might have been enjoying that had he stuck around a little bit longer.
Thanks, Paul. Here with Corey Joseph. Corey, on this night that would be your senior night, how does it feel to be back here and see this team on the court?
Feels great. You know, I haven't been able to get out here during the season, so I knew I had to catch at least one game, and to be here on senior night and to see, you know, some fans having a big head of me, it feels great.
Giving you the love that a senior class deserves. Oh, Corey, what has it been like to see the way Rick Barnes has taken this team, bounced back from last year, now that they're just a couple games away from returning to the NCAA tournament?
He's done a great job. You know, like you said, bouncing back from last year. Last year was a pretty rough season, but this year they picked it up. You know, got the players are playing hard, playing smart, and it's been a great year, so hopefully they could do good things in the tournament.
Now that you're just down the road in San Antonio with the Spurs, such a great organization, how has that organization furthered your knowledge of the game?
It furthered my knowledge a lot. You know, having guards like obviously Tony Parker, vets like Tim Duncan and Mon Ginobili, and obviously Coach Popovich helped me a lot. From day one I got there, I'm learning, I'm still learning.
What about Bruce Bowen? We've got him working at the table.
Oh, for sure. He helped me too. I can see him over there. Look, his hands are up.
Thanks, Corey. We'll send it back to you guys with that.
All right, thank you, Kaylee. And to Corey, best of luck. Talk about the playoffs starting for college basketball. The playoffs in the Western Conference are going to be unbelievable in the NBA as Prince Ebay picks up his second personal foul. Prior to that, beautiful floater by Isaiah Taylor. He now has a dozen. That was his third personal foul on Ebay. I stand corrected. Just inside of 15 minutes remaining. Anderson down inside to Shepard, and he'll finally get to the free throw line. Been a tough evening so far for the fine freshman who averages 9.7 rebounds per game.
Well, if anything, I like the fact that he went up strong, Paul, but I don't know about that one. You got to play above the rim in that paint, baby.
Got a nice stroke from the free throw line, a 71%er so far on the year.
And one year at practice, I was playing around a little bit, but also trying to guard Tim Duncan on the block. And this is, he kind of made a little smirk and just continued to put me in the basket.
As good as you are, we all know how good you are. You do have some limitations.
You know what? That's a great move by Taylor, taking the contact, going up, getting square. As we talked about earlier, you know, he gets to certain spots, and it's just another pull dribble right there. There's no wasted motion. 2 dribbles, or I should say 1 dribble, and get to a spot where he's confident in knocking down that shot.
Now with 14, he looks to complete the three-point play. His degree of difficulty, a lot of these floaters, especially down along the baseline, those are very difficult shots, and he has proven to be very effective and consistent with it.
You know, even though it is a degree of difficulty, it's something that basketball players are constantly working on, especially with the fact that their core strength is what allows them to be able to get up in the air and kind of twist and turn and do things like that.
Taylor off to Ebay, has the ball stripped away by Hudson Price. And Prince Ebay will get to the free throw line. Shepard continues to struggle. Kavar Shepard, #1 in purple. Now 0 for 9 from the floor. And other than an attempt or 2, all of them pretty good looks.
Well, the fact that he was leaning back, going to half court after that shot, like he was LeBron James when he just against Charlotte Bobcats. You know,
61.
Only the 61. You know, follow your shot, big fella.
Yeah, get the guards back. Get the little guys back.
It's usually those are the ones that's supposed to get back. Bigs are supposed to crash the glass.
Prince Ebay, good on both free throws. Boy, that young man has really worked on his stroke. Still not a good free throw shooter, but much improved. Good attack of the rim. That shot blocked from behind. Michael Williams going down inside, and yet another whistle. Tables have turned just a little bit. 14 minutes to play. TCU out of fouls. Texas now has picked up just their 5th personal foul, and Prince Ebay has just picked up his 4th personal foul, so Cameron Ridley will come back on. Speaking of Ridley, averaging 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3rd best in the conference. Really improved on his free throw shooting. Averaging 2.7 blocks per game, 3rd best in the conference.
You know, we talked about, you know, Texas coming out and more demonstrative effort. And again, they're fouling. So, you know, it's almost for Coach Barnes like, what did we just talk about? They're at 5 fouls. Now, the plus factor is that TCU is at 6.
Well, and Texas has got everything you need. They got length, they've got quickness, both lateral and, of course, end-to-end vertical speed, and they got rim protection, so they don't need to be committing all of these fouls. That's really what bogged this game down. A little bump on the perimeter. And Anderson all the way to the basket, and again, 18 points in the first half. He's become pretty effective in the first 20 minutes, putting up big numbers against some of the conference best, and he'll get to the free throw line. He now has 21, and obviously will look to add to that total.
In this moment, and if I don't know what Coach Barnes is going to do right now, but it looks like he's going to take Kendall Yancey out of the game. But you know, as a defender, I want more of an opportunity, Coach. You know, let me get a rhythm. Let me get a rhythm of guarding the guy. And so, okay, good. He's not taking him out. I'm glad he's not.
They're going to go 4 guards along with Cameron Ridley.
Not necessarily a bad idea.
Anderson, an 85% free throw shooter, and just showed you why, knocking down both. 13:25 remaining. Texas's lead is only 9. Taylor going baseline again, and there's a little touch foul. That is going to go against Thomas Monagle, 6'2" senior out of Fort Worth. Officials have been pretty consistent with how they have, it's not a new rule, but how they have reinterpreted the impeding or the hand checking so far on the perimeter throughout the course of the season. It has been pretty consistent. As far as post play, that's another story. Both free throws up and good. Isaiah Taylor having a nice game now with 17, with a long way to go in this one. Texas lead back up to double digits. Remember, they led it by 15 with 4 minutes to play in the opening half before they started fouling time and again. Long rebound comes out. Monagle needs a bounce, doesn't get it. Taylor high for the rebound. Felix, long three-pointer. That rattles in and out, and we're going the other way. Anderson with it. Texas trying to get back. Anderson splits down the lane. Can't get that to fall. And here comes Taylor once again. He rebounds his position very well. Good ball movement. DeMarcus Holland down the lane, knocked to the floor, and the rebound taken by Brandon Parrish. Anderson might have walked on the perimeter. Some contact on the inside, and here we go once again. Kendall Yancey fouled from behind by Monagle. That was about 2.5 minutes of, I'm out of breath. Somebody called timeout. End to end. Be sure and join Coach Rick Barnes for a weekly breakdown, analysis, highlights, interviews, and all things Texas basketball. Longhorn Weekly with Rick Barnes on Longhorn Network Thursday night at 7 Central. You can also watch live online and now on your mobile phone with the Longhorn Network app, available free in the Apple App Store. Rick Barnes going to be right up there at the top of the list for Coach of the Year in the conference. Bruce Weber will be there. What a job he has done. Tubby Smith might have been had he won a couple of more close games. Of course, Bill Self has got to be there. And what a job Lon Kruger has done at Oklahoma. So it will be a tight race, let's say that.
And all those coaches that you mentioned, they're proven coaches. They've been other places and been able to have success. But you know what I find more amazing is that they're able to bring in a different generation of kids. Bringing these, you know, I think it always evolves a little bit. You have more talented guys, and for them to continue the process of teaching these players and allowing them to be successful under their program, under their tutelage, I think that's a credit to who they are as well.
Just reminded that every coach on that list that I just went through, and pretty long, every one of them into a Final Four. Step back jump shot, nicely done. Of course, Lon Kruger when he was at Florida. Tubby Smith when he was at Kentucky. Bruce Weber when he was at Illinois. Pretty good list. Taylor out to Felix. Felix been struggling from the perimeter so far on the night. Tipped up and in. Oh, they wave off the basket. want to see who they called that foul on. They're looking at, yeah, they called it on Cameron Ridley, and that's his third personal foul. And Prince Ebay is already on the sideline with 4 personal fouls. So now Texas's front court in a little bit of foul difficulty in this game. Far from decided with the Longhorns leading it by 11 with 11.5 minutes remaining.
Each contestant drew a key. The contestant with the key that started the Silverado is here with us now. Please welcome back to the court Steven, who qualified earlier this season through the Chevy Silverado Shootout and now has a chance to win an all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado High Country. Steven has one chance to win a Silverado by sinking a half-court shot. One ball, one chance, one Silverado. Steven, are you nervous? All right, let the drums roll, please. All right, Steven, whenever you're ready, shoot to drive, baby. All right, Steven, great try. Thank you for playing. We hope you had fun in the Chevy Silverado Shootout. The new Chevy Silverado is strong enough to be the official truck of the Texas Longhorns.
It was foul problems in the first half that really slowed down the Longhorns and got TCU back into this game. And now look at this list. Ebay, Ridley in most of the trouble. So is Kendall Yancey. Javon Felix, DeMarcus Holland picked up both of their fouls in the first half. But boy, oh boy, that especially against a team that really struggles to score, play good defense without fouling, as both of the big guys for Texas are on the sideline for head coach Rick Barnes.
Again, unacceptable. This is unacceptable.
And it started out after, I'm sure, the Texas coaching staff talked to their players about all the fouls they committed over the last 6 or 7 minutes of the first half. First play of the second half, they come out, play good defense for 33 seconds, foul with 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Yep. And then it was the same trend all over again. Isaiah Taylor's had a big game so far, already with 17.
You know, when you go to a small lineup, you want more attacking style of play to the basket. Not settling for jump shots, but get into the paint.
Floater, and the good night continues. Isaiah Taylor getting the soft bounce. He adds to his total. This is the smallest lineup I've seen Texas play all season long. And of course, if you're just joining us, that has to do with the unfortunate spate of injuries that have hit TCU, just without many of their best players throughout the course of the season, including up front would have been Emrick Field, 6'9" junior out of Oklahoma City, who's averaging 13 points per game. Felix just picked up his third personal.
You know, Felix had good position there. It's just keep your hands up. And sometimes it's so tantalizing for a player when you see the ball right in front of you. But with all the fouls you have right now, your opponents, they're in the bonus. You can't reach.
Number 24, Martinez Walker for Javon Felix.
One more game for Texas. That is at Texas Tech. A team that they really had to battle. They beat them 67-64 right here at the Irwin Center. So going out on the road, Jay Crockett, really an outstanding player for the Red Raiders. In a conference, you look at the conference stats and you just go, wow. He's good. Wow.
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
He is awfully good. Taylor again forces up that one down inside. This is an opportunity for TCU, the first time on the night, to sort of be in an even battle on the boards. Jarvis Ray out of control. Taylor quickly up ahead of the pack and lays that up and in. Taylor now leading the way for Texas with 21. Anderson's been fairly quiet so far in the second half after going for 18 in the first. That off the iron, and Lammert there to clean things up. 4 guards on the floor along with Connor Lammert, who oftentimes plays on the perimeter. Nice dish right through the hands of Connor Lammert from Yancey. Anderson trying to get to the free throw line, and he will. Just trying to draw the foul there, and he'll get to the line. An 85% free throw shooter, so a good place to go. He's got 23 already.
The message from Coach Johnson: drive the basketball. Just drive it. I don't care if you have a wide open, drive the basketball.
Worth taking a charge. Why not?
Yes, right.
Isaiah Taylor just picked up his 3rd personal foul. And he's got to go to the sideline, replaced by Felix. 9:44 remaining. Again, if you're just joining us, another storyline. Jonathan Holmes, who injured his knee at Kansas State back on February 8th. Didn't necessarily re-injure it in the road loss at Oklahoma, but a little bit gimpy and no reason to take any chances. Get Jonathan Holmes not only ready for Texas Tech, chances are he will be available, but more importantly, for the Big 12 tournament and beyond. Currently, according to Joe Lunardi, 7 Big 12 teams will be in the tournament. Looking inside to Lammert, and easy play to call. Kavar Shepard commits the personal foul from behind his second. 1-1 coming for Connor Lammert. Lammert's been solid throughout the season. 6 points, 5 rebounds. Good 3-point shooter, 37% from outside the arc. And with that stroke, should be a better free throw shooter. He's just a tick under 70%.
I think it's more about getting to the line, the inconsistency that he may get there with.
Yancey, the long rebound. Felix will reset. Felix out there. Picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half. Not much of an impact on this game. Felix driving the ball right to the basket. Lammert tries to follow. Battle for the rebound taken by Ray in purple for Texas TCU.
Even though they missed those shots, that was better activity for the Texas Longhorns on that possession.
The Shepard really likes to square up. Wild left-handed hook. And another foul is going to be called. Kendall Yancey picks up his 4th personal foul. Next time we have a break and we get the new stat sheet, you want to take a look. Oh, I can look at it now. At the total number of fouls so far called against Texas in the game. Anderson will come back on. Price to the sideline. And Jarvis Ray will shoot another free throw. 67%er on the year from New Orleans originally. And last season, he suffered a season-ending foot injury. Talking to Trent Johnson, and known Trent for a long time from his years at Stanford and at Nevada before that. And he said, don't get too close. You might get hurt just coming over to talk to me. Been that kind of couple of seasons for Trent. His first 2 years, this being his second at TCU. Crossover dribble, 17-footer not there. Blocking out, good rebound taken by Shepard of Texas Christian. TCU pushing it right down the lane. Lammert there to stop that attack. Offensive rebound taken. Can't score it there. Another offensive rebound, and here comes Texas. Watch out for the charge. Holland all the way right around the defense. That time of Michael Williams lays it up and in for his 5th point. The lead is still only 10. Texas done a much better job on Kean Anderson here in the second half. DeMarcus Holland has not picked up another foul. Trent Johnson saw that his team a little bit out of sync with 18 seconds remaining on the shot clock and wanted to be sure and save that possession. We'll step aside. Texas leading it by 10.
Our network is powered by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead. Texas men's basketball on Longhorn Network is powered by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead.
Beautiful look at 6th Street and beyond. Still a little bit of a chill in the air. I know that's cramping your style as far as the golf course is concerned, Bruce. And spring is coming. Don't worry about that. Going to be beautiful, beautiful weather here in Austin very soon.
We've had what we call a winter here. That's unlike this part of Texas. Back-to-back weeks where it's cold? No.
Prince eBay back on with those 4 personal fouls mentioned. I was going to get you the total. Texas has committed 21 fouls so far on the game, and there's still just under 8 minutes remaining, and that has led to 25 free throw attempts for TCU. Ray, one dribble, pull-up jumper, 17-footer. Boy, that looked like he knew what he was doing.
That's the thing when you allow a team to hang around enough, guys develop confidence, and then they start knocking down shots. And if you're continuously putting them on the line, you're going to have the advantage because they're afraid to foul.
Jarvis Ray now with 8, and the lead for Texas is only 8. It was 15 points all the way back in the first half with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Felt like this game was going to be a blowout. Martez Walker right at the rim, missed that, and here comes TCU. Ian Anderson changing pace, trying to get in the lane. He should have shot that ball, then it would have been 2 free throws, but you look up, and it's the double bonus in any case. So Ian Anderson will get to the free throw line and shoot a pair when we get back, but finally starting to get some help from Jarvis Ray. Welcome back to Texas men's basketball, powered by the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado, and Ian Anderson has been powering TCU most of the night. Cooled off a little bit in the second half, but where would they be without him? Not only tonight, but all season long.
You know, the fact that he finds his spot, he has control. He's playing with a good pace where it's not too rushed and it's not too slow. When he has a big on him, let me lower your sleeve. I'll stop at the three-point line and knock down the shot. He's really done a fantastic job of keeping the Texas Longhorns off of balance.
18 points in the first half on 6 of 10 shooting. As mentioned, he's cooled off a little bit, just 1 of 5 from the floor. Does have 7 points doing most of his damage where else but at the free throw line. 7:14 remaining. It's an 8-point game. This is an 85% free throw shooter at the line. Texas once again 21-8, 15-2 here at the Irwin Center, trying to get to 16 wins. That would be the second time that they have gotten to 16, which is second best mark in Texas basketball history in terms of home wins. Both free throws up and good, and the crowd here at the Irwin Center getting a little bit antsy, and with good reason. Cameron Ridley back on, carrying those 3 personal fouls. Prince Ebay has 4. Jonathan Holmes not available. Big 3-point make by Martez Walker.
If anything, great from Martez, but more importantly for the team. I mean, it's a drought right now, and the only way you can get a team out of the zone is if you're knocking down those shots or attacking the basket, attacking the gaps of the zone.
Look at a 3-pointer to answer. Wow, Parrish did not hit iron. Oh, that was off by about 3 feet. Look out from behind. Nobody gave Isaiah Taylor a heads up. Ridley got to be careful not to pick up another foul. What a block by Ridley, and the hustling finish that time by Brandon Barrett. TCU back in the zone.
You know, for a player to get the ball stolen from behind, he can't see the individual coming like that. So I don't have it. Why isn't someone saying, watch out?
Oh, no question. That's not Isaiah Taylor's fault. Anderson down the lane, and he'll get back to the free throw line. Martez Walker makes 1 3, but then comes back and takes one too quick, and that exposes the defense. Good hustle by Ridley getting back.
Yeah, that was good hustle. You know, I was afraid he was going to commit a foul. And it's, I mean, the way they've been going to the line, Anderson's been utilizing his body, getting into the body of the Longhorns and finishing.
Had to do it over again. Cameron Ridley should have let him go. Should have let him go. It's more important that he be on the floor for the rest of this game rather than just try to deny that shot. Yeah. Isaiah Taylor just picked up his 4th personal foul. Anderson with 28. Lifetime left in this game.
6-point game, and all because of the foul situation. It's the mental aspect of it, paying attention to detail, not fouling, unnecessary fouls.
Anderson missing a free throw, and that's a headline. Maybe a little bit tired. Boy, look at his hands on his shorts. Carries the complete load at the offensive end and staying out there for all but about 1 or 2 minutes of this entire game. Entry pass, and Cameron Ridley will go to the free throw line.
Now, that's a good pass. It's risky because you have so many TCU defenders around it, but he got it in, and you want to get it to Cameron, especially right now.
Much better free throw shooter. How much has he improved on his stroke so far?
His stroke wasn't bad. His stroke nor eBay's stroke was bad at all. It's just, I think it's more about the confidence getting there. And as he's gotten there, we've seen production continue to rise.
Ridley now with a dozen, and in Big 12 play, he's 58 of 69 from the free throw line. So Cameron Ridley, give him a lot of credit. You got to be able to go to your big guy, and he's got to be able to get to the line. And speaking of big, Connor Lammert with a block shot from behind with some help from Ridley. Holland, the purple seas parted. He was all alone and maybe surprised that he was that by himself. Missed the layup badly. And that pass to no one in particular down along the baseline. Trying to get that into Jarvis Ray once again, and nobody home. 5:15 remaining. TCU, what a season it has been, and coming off of the end of last year as well. 4 players out with season-ending injuries. Still looking for their first conference win. Played Texas very tough in the first meeting. Texas winning it 59-54. TCU really laying off of Holland right now out in the corner. Lammert steps back, not there. Ridley high for the offensive rebound. Surrounded and puts it back up and in. Ridley now with 14.
Two good baskets for the Longhorns through Ridley. I mean, he gets the foul, gets the 2 free throws, and then keeping it high off of the rebound. Texas has to continue to attack the gaps. What they're doing, they're just passing the ball around the perimeter and almost hoping someone does something in a positive way for them.
Right into the sweet spot of the 2-3 zone, behind the 2 guards and in front of the bigs, and Jarvis Ray found himself all alone. Ridley. It felt like he was approaching a double-double, and he's done just that. 9th on the season, coming off a big game, albeit in a losing effort at Oklahoma. 19 points, 14 rebounds. Malik's tough shot, rebound taken by Ray, deflected out of bounds. Looked like it went off of Ray's leg. Texas crowd behind us seeing things with their heart, but they might have a case here. But no review, and TCU will have it. 4 minutes remaining, and the Longhorns lead is 62-54.
So you need to communicate in this defensive zone they have here. Talk, know where Price is, and definitely know where Anderson is as far as his ability to penetrate and break down the zone. Texas is just there's no energy out there.
Good attack of the basket that time by Price off the back of the iron. If TCU had scored there, we would have had ourselves a heck of a finish.
Absolutely.
Still lots of time, 3:25 remaining. Just felt like that was a critical juncture as they got it back down to single digits. Martez Walker not hesitating to pull the trigger. Ridley a missed time there and off of Shepard's leg. And the official's going to correct the call. We just pointed in the wrong direction. Texas fans are going to give it to him anyway. Everybody loves to give the officials gas. No question. Texas basketball. Ooh, I might have gone off Ridley's leg. Well, I don't know about that one.
Let's turn back the clock to see if David can identify the future Longhorn for a chance to win a Whataburger prize pack. Is it A, Brandon Adams, B, Connor Lambert, or C, Danny Newsom? He's now bigger, stronger, faster, and it is B. That's right, David. And because our friends at Whataburger just can't help themselves, Elected Roll fans will also receive a coupon for a free Whataburger. Congratulations, and enjoy your Whataburger prizes. What a burger! Proud to serve Longhorn fans 24 hours a day.
If you're TCU, still a lifetime left here at the Irwin Center in Austin, trying to pull off a big upset. Now, let's look at this entire possession. A little controversial play before we went to break. Crowd goes absolutely wild, thinking that the ball went off of TCU. But as we take another look at that. He had it right on his first impression. He might have been convinced by the crowd he pointed the wrong way, but this ball clearly off of the leg of Cameron Ridley. That is a really big call, particularly if Texas is able to score coming out of this timeout. TCU showing some man-to-man, changing things up and playing zone all night. Inside to Ridley, turns, faces, not there. Good rebound taken by Ray. Anderson might pull up, and he does, steps back. Two defenders were there, they both left him. He had a really good look at a three.
And even at that moment, no, don't take that one right now. You know, get something. You have, You have Isaiah Taylor guarding you who has 4 fouls. All you have to do is drive the ball. Now's not the time to show us your whole repertoire of what you got in your game.
And you're in the double bonus. As a matter of fact, both teams are. Lammert trying to go to work against Price. Double team, kick outside. Holland, mid-range jump shot. Big basket by DeMarcus Holland. 2:15 remaining, Texas lead by 10. Holland has 7. Now TCU, as opposed to coming out of a couple of earlier timeouts, they do not have a lot of time left. They must score every possession. Shepard along the baseline. Boy, he has had a terrible game from the floor. Young player, a lot of promise, but this is going to be a forgettable night. He is now 1 of 13 from the floor.
But more importantly, why is he taking the jump shot?
Wrong guy, wrong time.
2 bad possessions for TCU, and we haven't said that tonight. Where we said, you know, that was a bad possession for TCU. It seems like before they were making the right decisions, but now that it's really crunch time, this is where you really have to be sure of all that you're doing out there.
Ball deflected. That's a great point. Last 2 possessions, Brandon Price, who's a jump shooter, going in among the trees and the shot blockers, and then Shepard, who couldn't throw one in Lake Travis, at least on this evening. I don't mean to give the young man a difficult time. He's really part of what should be a good future for TCU basketball. Step back jumper, rattles in and out, Lammert right there. First career double-double now for Connor Lammert. Jonathan Holmes not playing. That's his first.
Wow.
Well, I think if I remember from the stats, Lammert only averaging about 15, 16 minutes a game. So it's pretty hard to put up a double-double in that kind of, but he's obviously playing starters minutes tonight. Inside of a minute to play, and the lead is now 12. A little high-low, ball deflected out of bounds. So Texas looks like they're going to improve to 22-8, 11-6 in conference, with only Texas Tech remaining on their conference schedule. And they're going to get to home win number 16 against only 2 losses. One of those losses to Michigan State in the non-conference. The only conference loss here at the Irwin Center was to Oklahoma. That ball off the back of the iron. Nice rebound taken by Holland. Shot and game clock separated by just a couple of seconds. So it was a real battle. And a lot of it Texas's own doing, a lot of ill-advised fouling, particularly in the first half. But they're going to close out their home schedule with a win and give TCU a lot of credit. Very, very short-handed. And they cut the lead to 6 and had a couple of opportunities, just couldn't get that one big basket to really put a lot of pressure on Texas. Isaiah Taylor will take the shot clock violation.
That was funny.
Whoever ends up with the basketball gets charged with a turnover. So Isaiah Taylor didn't want to have it. So he and Connor Lammert were playing a little hot potato. At the end, Texas once again wins it. They improve to their 22nd win over just 8 losses on the season. Isaiah Taylor led the way with 21 points. Cameron Ridley, 14 points and 10 rebounds. And Connor Lammert with his first career double-double. Final score once again, Texas wins it 66-54. Want to remind you to tune in Friday for Texas baseball as they host Hawaii starting at 6 Central. That is a 4-game set over the weekend doubleheader on Saturday. Coming up next is Longhorn Extra. And we are waiting for, of course, the traditional Eyes of Texas. Texas improves to 11-6 on the Big 12 season. Now time for the Eyes of Texas.
Walker's Wing Bar is a proud sponsor of UT basketball. The Horns scored the 55 points needed and won. Coupon for 5 free meals at Walker's on your way out.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. That's a great note. I can get him anytime you want if we want to knock this out. So Bruce. Oh, no, no. Okay. I got him. I got him. Should have gone to the